In Joseph Campbell's studies, he found that the most persistent theme in all of literature is the myth of the hero. The universal story is also found in many well-known movies. We are here to show you how The Dark Knight Rises includes many aspects of the hero archetype, and how Beowulf, an epic recorded thousands of years ago, is very similar to a movie that came out only a few years ago. The ordinary world. Beowulf lives in Geatland, where he is the nephew of the ruler Hygelac. Beowulf consults with his Witan, who is a group of nobles who advise the citizens of their land. In The Dark Knight Rises, Bruce Wayne is in hiding 8 years after the death of Harvey Dent, which Gotham believes is that Batman is responsible for. Call to adventure. Beowulf hears from sailors the tale of Hrothgar's misfortune in Denmark, where the land is being terrorized by Grendel, a descendant of Cain. In The Dark Knight Rises, Catwoman stirs up trouble when she steals Bruce's mother's pearl necklace. Refusal of the call. This element of the hero's journey is not featured in Beowulf because he willfully accepts the challenge. On the other hand, Bruce is still distraught over the death of his childhood friend and love, Rachel Dawes. Bruce believes there is nothing out in the world for him but tragedy. Meeting with the mentor. Beowulf arrives at Herod and is greeted by Wulfgar, one of Hrothgar's men. Beowulf, along with the other Geats, drop their swords and shields and then enter Herod. He tells Beowulf and his men the stories of how Grendel terrorizes his meat hall during the night. Bruce Wayne meets Lucius Fox, one of his advisors at Wayne Enterprises. He shows Bruce a new helicopter for Batman to use. Alfred, another mentor to Bruce Wayne, warns him of Bane's strength and discourages Bruce from returning to his life as Batman. Crossing the threshold. Beowulf spends the night in Herod with his men. Grendel enters the meat hall and kills a few men before Beowulf fights him. Beowulf realizes that his sword is useless against Grendel, so he uses his strength to rip off the monster's arm, ultimately killing Grendel. After Bane steals from the Gotham Stock Exchange, Batman goes after Bane and his men. The police see Batman and choose to go after him, but he is able to escape in his helicopter. Test allies and enemies. Prior to defeating Grendel, Beowulf encounters Unferth, a Dane who is jealous of Beowulf's power and fame. When challenged by Unferth, Beowulf says that he has only heard negative things about Unferth, and that if Unferth were as strong as he says he is, Grendel would have been defeated already. After slaying Grendel, Unferth proves himself a friend of Beowulf's by giving him a sword. Bruce believes he has an ally in Miranda Tate, who he has worked together to build a reactor for sustainable energy. The approach. Grendel's mother wants revenge for her son's death, so she comes to the mead hall and retrieves Grendel's arm, and takes Hrothgar's best friend. In The Dark Knight Rises, Catwoman takes Batman to the sewers to see Bane, but betrays Batman. Bane defeats Batman and takes over all of Batman's armor and Batmobiles. Batman is then taken to the prison underground. The ordeal. Beowulf enters Grendel's mother's lair in the swamp and fights her. She nearly defeats him, but Beowulf finds a magical sword made by giants and slays her. He returns to Geatland and takes over the throne. While Bruce is in prison, Bane terrorizes Gotham. He turns the energy reactor into a nuclear bomb and blows up the underground sewers. The Supreme Ordeal. 50 years after defeating Grendel's mother, Beowulf is asked to defeat a dragon. He challenges the dragon along with Wiglaf, the only one of Beowulf's men to remain by his lord's side. The dragon melts Beowulf's shields and breaks his sword, but Beowulf fights on and successfully slays the dragon. Gotham is about to turn to ashes by the nuclear bomb, and Bane continues to kill anyone who tries to get in his way. Batman returns to Gotham after escaping from the prison and asks Catwoman for help. The authorities fight Bane's men, and Batman finds out that Miss Tate has been partners with Bane all along and plans to blow up the city herself since Batman killed Bane. The reward, seizing of the sword. Beowulf slays the dragon and wins the dragon's treasure at the cost of his own death. Batman uses his helicopter to take the bomb away from the city, but the bomb detonates over the bay, blowing up Batman and his helicopter. Both of our heroes die in honor and become immortal through fame. The road back. As Beowulf is dying, he thanks God for his treasure and gives his most valuable belongings to Wiglaf. He asks that he be buried at the edge of the ocean so that sailors will see his tomb and remember him forever. Batman saves Gotham, and the city honors him and remembers him as the one who saved their city. Bruce Wayne's home becomes an orphanage, and the Batcave is handed over to Robin Blake. The resurrection. Wiglaf grants the wishes to Beowulf, and the Geats burn the body of their great leader and bury him with his treasures in his massive tomb by the sea. Mr. Lucius Fox realizes that Mr. Wayne had the autopilot fixed on the helicopter, so Bruce did not die in the explosion. He leaves Gotham and begins a new life with Catwoman.
Beowulf is the epitome of an epic hero. He is morally sound and thinks of others before he thinks of himself. Beowulf is smarter, braver, and stronger than the average human. He comes to the Geats' aid when an evil monster named Grendel terrorizes their meat hall. He courageously defeats the monster and defeats the monster's vengeful mother. Through these battles, Beowulf's strength, humbleness, and courageousness are revealed. Finally, Beowulf faces his final task of fighting the dragon. In this trial, he ultimately faces death. In honor of Beowulf, his people build a tower at the water's edge so that it is seen by everyone that passes and he is remembered forever. Batman is on the typical warrior's journey to save his city from being destroyed. This can also be interpreted as his quest to rid the land of danger. He must save Gotham from Bane, who is bent on sending the police force and citizens over the edge. Batman asks Selina to take him to Bane, but instead leads him into Bane's trap. He engages Batman and delivers a crippling blow to his back before taking him to a foreign, well-like prison where escape is virtually impossible. Meanwhile, Bane forces an abducted physicist, Dr. Leon Pavel, to convert the reactor core into a nuclear bomb. Bane uses a bomb to hold the city hostage and isolate Gotham from the world. After months of recovery and retraining, Bruce escapes from the prison and enlists Selina, Blake, Tate, Gordon, and Fox to help stop the bomb's detonation. While the police and Bane's forces clash, Batman defeats Bane, but with no way to stop the bomb's detonation, Batman uses the bat to haul the bomb over the bay where it detonates. In the aftermath, Batman is presumed dead and is honored as a hero. With Bruce also presumed dead, Wayne Manor is left to the city to become an orphanage, and Wayne's remaining estate is left to Alfred. Fox discovers that Bruce has fixed the bat's autopilot, and Gordon finds the bat signal refurbished. While visiting Florence, Alfred witnesses Bruce and Selina together. Blake resigns from the police force and inherits the Batcave. Batman is an archetypal hero because he follows all the steps of an epic journey or quest. He is a larger-than-life figure that is smarter, stronger, and braver than most, and he exemplifies certain morals and ethics that are valued by society. Hrothgar serves as the fatherly figure towards Beowulf. The role of an advisor, a father figure type to aid in the instigation of a hero's quest, is recurrent in literature. Where Hrothgar is weak, he makes up for in knowledge and experience that he provides to Beowulf. Once Hrothgar mentored the young Beowulf, he rises to the challenge and he fulfills his task of killing Grendel. Hrothgar is part of the archetype of the mentor who guides the actions of the hero as he seeks individuation and success. Batman is guided by his mentor, the wise old Alfred, who has been taking care of him since he lost his parents when he was a child. He himself clearly stated to the hero, "You are as precious to me as you were to your own mother and father. I swore to them that I would protect you." With this statement, it is understood that the hero Batman has been abandoned by his mother and father, leaving his responsibility in the hands of their loyal and faithful butler, and that Batman relies heavily on the advice of Alfred. In conclusion, both Batman and Beowulf play key roles in the story because without an epic hero, the story doesn't exist.
Beowulf and Batman have extremely similar archetypal motifs. The first is evil and good. In Beowulf, evil in the beginning is Grendel and Grendel's mother because they try to destroy the mead hall and everyone in it, along with Beowulf. But we know that has little to do with Beowulf's main feat. In The Dark Knight Rises, Batman battles with Selina Kyle and Bane, but neither of them is the main evil, similar to Beowulf fighting Grendel and Grendel's mother. Beowulf's main battle with evil is when he battles the dragon, and Batman's is Miranda Tate. Beowulf fights the dragon to save his people, and Batman gets Miranda's bomb to water to save the people of Gotham. Beowulf and Batman are always the good, aka the hero. Another archetypal motif throughout the stories is lightness and darkness. Lightness in Beowulf includes the mead hall, because that is where the warrior's source of community and happiness is. It is where the warriors all come together. This is similar to the Batcave in The Dark Knight Rises. Bruce and Alfred come together in the Batcave to discuss plans, equipment, and tactics, but mainly Alfred gives his 2 cents on Bruce's outrageous ideas. Grendel's lair is a symbol of darkness. It is deep, dark, and mysterious. Animals tend to stay away from the area completely. This is like Bane's underground in The Dark Knight Rises. The police tend to stay away from the sewers that lead to this underground area because they have a feeling it is unsafe. Another darkness in The Dark Knight Rises is the underground well-like prison Bruce Wayne is put in after Bane breaks his back. Bruce struggles to get out, but eventually he climbs to the top, reaching which is
his lightness. Beowulf's final lightness is when he defeats the dragon and sees his treasure. That is when he realizes it has all been worth it. Everything he went through finally had meaning. At the end of The Dark Knight Rises, Bruce Wayne is shown in Florence with Selina Kyle, and this is when we know he has reached his lightness, because he has finally left all the darkness and crime that Gotham has. The archetypal motifs make the story have meaning and depth in both of these stories. The stories may have been made years apart, but they are very similar.
The Dark Knight Rises and Beowulf both have many archetypal settings that are similar in nature. One important setting in The Dark Knight Rises is the football stadium. This is the place where the antagonist Bane makes his first large attack. While there is a football game going on, Bane has previously planted bombs in the ground. Therefore, while they're playing, all of the bombs go off and cause the death of nearly all of the players. Bane then comes out to reveal himself and give his threat to the people of Gotham. This is completely unexpected by the people, and they are now living in fear of him. The football stadium in this movie is similar to the Mead Hall in Beowulf. In Beowulf, Mead Hall is the place where Grendel makes his first attack. One night, Grendel decided to finally take his revenge and attacked Mead Hall while the men were all sleeping. He managed to kill 30 men, all of them surprised and defenseless. Beowulf had not yet arrived at this time. When Hrothgar and the rest of the people found out, they were in disbelief of what happened. They are now living in fear of being attacked by Grendel and are afraid to go back to the hall. In both stories, the settings are usually places where people gather to have fun. People go to football games for entertainment, and people went to Mead Hall to party and socialize. Both of these settings are transformed into a place of destruction and death by both antagonists, Bane and Grendel. They are turned into a place of fear because it is where the people are both made aware of the threats of the antagonists. This would be where the call to adventure is made from. Another setting in The Dark Knight Rises is at City Hall. This is the area where Bane and Batman have their final battle against each other. At first, Bane seems to have the upper hand, but Batman is able to overcome him and take him down. Eventually, help is needed from Catwoman to help Bane once and for all. At the end of it all, Batman is presumed dead, but lives on to be a hero because he has saved the people of Gotham. In Beowulf, this is similar to the Dragon's Lair, which is where Beowulf's final battle is. Beowulf also needs help from Wiglaf to kill the dragon and then dies shortly after, but remains to live on as a hero just as Batman does. Both of these places are where the final battles are located and where the protagonists die. This is where the reward, seizing the sword, happens in both stories. Archetypal settings play a key role in both The Dark Knight Rises and Beowulf in order to really bring the plot together and create the best story.
The Dark Knight Rises is full of Christian symbols, just as Beowulf. A common symbol throughout the entire movie is faith. Batman continually placed his faith in Catwoman, believing that there was more to her than the anger she kept showing. The people constantly show faith in Batman, who is a symbol of hope and justice. Relating this to Beowulf, the people have faith in Beowulf that he will be able to defeat whatever monsters threaten them. Beowulf also puts his faith in his warriors, thinking that they will defend him and help him fight. In the end, only Wiglaf is the warrior that helps Beowulf kill the dragon. Sinners are in their own pits of sin, just like Bruce Wayne's ascension from the pit to the chance of the rise. Selina Kyle is looking to redeem herself. She is looking for a clean slate. By the end of the movie, Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle have earned a clean slate. They have been given a fresh start. As sinners, we are searching for a clean slate. We achieve this through salvation through grace by faith. In the end, enemies have risen, so Batman must also rise to the challenge. Christians know the only way to cure sin is if God comes into the flesh and saves us. Batman is willing to intervene with Gotham in order to have a good outcome and save the people. He is willing to risk his life for the people of Gotham. Grendel is in a pit of his own sins because of the chaos he has caused. He is an outcast, therefore he is jealous and wants to get revenge. Hrothgar is looking for a clean slate for the Mead Hall. He is putting his faith in Beowulf that he will be able to defeat Grendel. When Grendel is killed, the Mead Hall gets a fresh start and returns to the greatness it once acquired. Beowulf rises to the occasion when monsters threaten the lives of innocent people. Beowulf's willing to risk his life for his people. He would rather die knowing that he was trying to save someone, rather than doing nothing. In the end, he is killed, but not before he is able to slay the dragon.